everybody today? Wednesday, hump day.
Wednesday, the sun is shining.
Oh no, it's so nice out.
Love it.
Okay, I'm just pulling up the show on my phone. Here we are. Global news. Perfect.
So how was your evening?
It was good. It was quiet. We had last night was the kind of parade with all the fire trucks, and they do it every Tuesday. They go around the whole community, and we go out every night and bang pots and pans and stuff. But it was actually nice to kind of see the faces of some of the firefighters and the ambulance drivers and stuff. So all with big grins on their face going by.
Oh, nice. I saw Jeff's post.
Yeah. So it was good. And now there's a new thing. You put a heart in your window too. That's apparently to thank the frontline workers, all the frontline, like grocery, people that work in the grocery, right up to doctors and nurses and everybody in between that's, still going to work and helping everybody through this kind of thing.
Oh,
So yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to.
What's that?
I was going to say we'll have to put a heart in our window or something. So.
Yeah, I know. I think I have some paper. I'm not sure. Somewhere I think I have some red paper, so I'm going to just cut some out. Yeah, you should do that with Logan. Yeah. He'll think it's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just all over the map. We have our Christmas lights on. We're going to have hearts in our window. We go out and bang pots and pans. It's surreal.
That's awesome.
It's just
that's community, right?
Well, and this is a really small little town, so everybody knows everybody. I don't, because I haven't lived here forever, but you see a lot of people all the time, kind of thing. So I think everybody's really missing the small community kind of feeling. Even though we're really tiny, you just don't see. You can run down the main street naked, nobody would see you, I don't think. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. So
oh wow, I know.
But it was neat to see the first responders and the police and all that kind of thing. And that's kind of what we're leading into with today's talk.
Yes.
We had a suggestion from Dan to maybe try and provide a little bit of information about the COVID-19 relief packages and whatnot. And to start it off, I will say that both Lindsay and I are in Canada, so we can only really tell you what we know about Canada. And Lindsay is in Alberta, I am in BC, so we kind of we're going to tell you right now, we are not professionals. We're just what we have read and what we have looked at links and whatnot. This is the information that we're going to pass on to you. You yourself have to do your due diligence and look into these things on your own. We're just going to give you kind of a basic of the things that you can look into, because every province is going to be different. Maybe not, there's some federal things, but your province, like my province, is varying to what Lindsay's is even. So, yeah. You need to actually look, and I'm very sorry for any of the Americans that are watching or somebody from elsewhere in the world. We do not know what is in store for you, but definitely what we're going to tell you about Canada, you should look into no matter where you live, because there might be some kind of relief for you in, where you live. So, yeah. So, who do we have on here? Linda Stella. Lovely. Nice to see you, Linda.
What I have done, so I don't know, are we okay with jumping into the federal unemployment stuff?
Definitely.
Okay. So what I've done is I've put a link in the comment section that will take you to Global News. And when I went on it this morning, it looks like the last updated was the 7th. And I think that was yesterday, right? Is today the 8th? I don't even know what date it is, but I know it was yesterday or today.
Let me look.
My days are all over the place, but
it's the 8th today, isn't it?
Okay, so it was updated yesterday. And so this is all related to unemployment, whether you qualify, how to apply for it, and we'll just kind of touch on the basics, but you really need to make sure that if you're applying for it, you have all the information that you need. So I will run through some of those right now. Um,
Sure.
so the EI is not for everybody, just to let everybody know. You will be asked 3 questions when you apply for it. Question will be contact information, your SIN number, and you have to confirm if you're eligible for it or not. And you can do that through the phone. They have a phone number that is provided, or you can do it online at the CRA's my account section. So you can
Yes.
go on there. So I believe with the link that I have provided you, I think Global News does provide an area for you to click on there. Now, when you provide your contact information, they don't actually ask you for any income. And you need to be aware yourself if you actually are qualified or not. And just be aware that right now they're not asking you for any proof, but they could come back later and ask you to prove that you did qualify at that time. So people that whether you work for a company or you're self-employed, you can apply for it. And if you can prove that your income has been you've lost business during this time,
Yep.
then you can qualify for it. But again, you have to prove that it was due to what has happened.
Yes.
So like being an online worker for our business, we would have to prove that we have specifically lost income due to this, which I think could be pretty hard to prove. So,
but then again, we have the ability to still earn. So,
yes. It's
here or there, but yeah, definitely.
So if you've lost your job due to this, you can apply for EI. If you choose not to come in because of the safety that you are in, you can apply. If you have work sharing, which maybe we'll get into a little bit after about the work sharing, you can apply for it. And I just want you to know though, if you just quit because you felt like it, you don't qualify. Or if you just quit voluntarily, or if you had EI before this started or you weren't working before this started, you don't qualify. So those are some key points there.
Something to keep in mind with the EI is it isn't going to be like regular EI where you can be on it up to a year. This is strictly what I read was 15 weeks, but that may change as time goes on. I don't know specifically if that is what it is still. And also something to keep in mind is that you are going to get these direct deposits. They do take some tax off, I believe, but they will not take enough off.
They said right now there's no tax implications.
Okay.
But later on, they could, they said that they're not worrying about the tax part right now. Okay. They're unsure about it. Plus, it also depends on how much you will actually be collecting. So the tax information, they will be letting people know later. So maybe just keep a small portion and don't spend
leave a little bit aside because you don't want to get dinged, at tax time. This will be for the following year, but when you file for this year, it'll be in 2021. But EI is notorious for not taking enough tax, so always be prepared for that so you don't get dinged, in the new year when you file.
Yes, so you have to have been out of work for 14 days before you can apply for it. And you will be getting $2,000 per month if you qualify. And that did say up to 4 months. So I believe that probably
up to 2,000 because not everybody would get that amount, I don't think.
No, probably. Well, no. That I'm not 100% sure of. I just saw.
And the thing is too is that they're waiving, I believe, like usually regular EI, there's a week wait. They're waiving that for people who are actually medically quarantined.
Yeah, so I did also see that if you've applied and you're approved, if you have direct deposit, you could get it in 3 days.
Yes. Yeah.
If you have snail mail, you could take 10 days before you get it.
Yeah.
So
Always try and get it direct deposit. Then there's no issues if something happens, just try. I know that if you don't have like what is it? Is it Revenue Canada or something that has the my account or whatever?
CRA, so Canadian Revenue.
CRA has this thing called My Account, and you have to actually apply for it and get a code before you can actually go in there and do things in it. Like, they actually have to confirm who you are. So yourself a day or two for that, because even if it's coming by email, they're so overloaded right now that it may take, an extra little bit of time. So that is the.
And I just wanted to say, last week, nearly 1 million people applied in Canada. So,
yeah.
And apparently there is also, depending on what month you were born, so that they don't have so many people bombarding the system at once. Like the first 3 months, they get Mondays. The next 3 months get Tuesdays, but then so on. But then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is like anybody that wants to try and do it can. So even your birthday is recommended that you have a different day to phone in.
Yeah.
Or go online. So
I mean, you're gonna have to expect some waits. So you're gonna have to have your phone on, just on speaker and just continue on with what you're doing. It's, and the people on the other end are bombarded. They are probably dealing with some pretty irate and scared people. So by all means, show them some respect and try and get through this without, losing your cool or anything like that, because they're under a lot of pressure and stress. So
patience
just are. What's that?
Patience is key.
It's going to have to be.
Yeah, breathe through
If anything, through all this, that is what it's going to teach us, is patience. Because think of the lineups you've been waiting in, lately, kind of thing. So, okay, so that is like the main one. That's like income. And like I say, you need to do your due diligence. We are only trying to pass on kind of what we've read and whatnot. We may not have it completely accurate, so you guys need to look into it on your own, but we're just trying to say the things that are available. So
do you want to
the next thing is, what's that?
You want to touch on utilities?
So I'm in BC, so our electric provider is BC Hydro. So I did get an email from them, and it stated that there is a relief fund available to BC Hydro customers. So if you have lost your job or you have lost income due to this, because you've chosen to social distance, you've chosen isolation, quarantine, whatever's happened, your job has closed down, it's not essential, whatever. If you have been affected financially by the COVID-19, you can apply to BC Hydro. They have a relief fund. It's a credit that will be equal to 3 times your average monthly bill. The applications start next week, so a week from now, and they run until June 30th. So it says on there, this amount does not have to be paid back. So that's in BC. Every single province is different. And even in the States, you can look into whoever is your electricity provider, your gas provider, not your cable, because that's, you don't have to have cable to survive. So, but anything like Lindsay, you said in Alberta for your electricity is
they're just deferring, meaning
deferring.
They are letting you not, like, you don't have to pay within, I think they're allowing 3 months as well, but once everything comes back to normal, you will have to pay it all back.
Okay, so you can see just from Alberta to BC the difference, and that's just provincial whatever. So take the time to look into your utilities. All of them have sent you an email to whatever, however you set up with them, has sent you an email saying what is available to you, what their COVID-19 relief structure is. So if you go into your emails, if you're bad about opening your emails, go and search out your utility bills and see what they offer. Because that's all I did. They just popped up because like we have hydro, we have, you know, all the different things that we have to pay for. So
yeah. So mine was ADCO that I looked into, and they did say that you can put the payments on hold, but you will eventually have to pay them back. What they will do though is once they are due, they'll work out a payment plan with you, because of course you're going to have the current months that you're in and everything that you've owed as back payment. So they will set up something to make it easier for you, but it is something that you have to pay back. And I was talking to my mom, and she said that I believe hers, I'm not even going to say the name because I can't remember which provider. We're allowed many different providers in our province, so it's not just one. But she said it was really easy. She just phoned the phone number. All you had to do was just punch in some information, and that was it. That you were put on hold. So she didn't even have to talk to a person to do it. It was automatic. So
so it's available. Some provinces are obviously going to be a better relief package than the others, but you guys need to look into it yourselves. I'm going to say this every time we suggest something, because you can't count on exactly what we're saying, and we don't want to be responsible for, you know. So you need to look at whoever your electricity, your gas, propane, however you heat your house, the electric bill, anything like that. You need to look into it. So also, we were going to talk about the big banks. If you have a credit union or a smaller bank, I don't know. All I can tell you is what I've learned about the big banks, which is like Bank of Montreal, Scotiabank, Royal Bank, the big Canadian banks. Okay. So each one of those banks has set up a separate relief fund that is to their own bank. So again, you need to look into it. Some of them are allowing mortgages to be deferred, the mortgage payment to be deferred. So what they'll do is they'll tax, say, the 3 months that you couldn't pay now onto the end of your mortgage. But Lindsay, tell them the bad news.
Yeah, you will have to continue to pay the interest on it. Whereas your utility bills, it seems like a lot of them are waiving interest fees. Your mortgage payments are not. So it will bite you in the butt later. So if you don't have to defer your mortgage payment, strongly suggest you don't. Use that as a last resort.
Yeah. I just got a message by email from the Royal Bank saying, what they have available and whatnot. So each bank you need to go to and look at. We're talking mortgages, possibly car loans can be deferred till the end. Personal loans, lines of credit, it all depends on what you have for payments. But you need to contact your bank and say, what's available to me? And they will sell it. And don't forget to ask what the fee is and if interest is going to be charged or not, just so that you have it in your mind. If you absolutely can't pay, pay your mortgage. If there's anything that you can pay your mortgage. Try to defer
the biggest ticket, so it'll be the highest interest.
It's the highest ticket, so it's going to be the highest. You're going to have the most interest on that. So, what else did I see here? Yeah, lots of even some of the car loan, other than the big banks. Most of them go through the big banks now, but you need to contact either who like if you bought your car at a dealership, they'll have the information on what you can do about that. Or say you have a Scotiabank loan for your car through Nissan or whatever, you can phone the Scotiabank. They'll have a hotline. You just need to Google it. Google's your friend. So did you have anything else about big banks there?
No.
Okay, what is and we were talking about I forgot about that, the ROE with your unemployment.
That's going to be the proof.
You're going to have to get that. Yeah. It's
You
going to
don't,
show what your hours were previous to this and then what they ended up being as things were cut back, and then no hours if that's, so you will have to have that. I just saw it in big print here, so I wanted to
yeah,
say that.
and that's the thing that the bank or the government might not ask for right now.
Not now.
They could come back and ask you for it later.
So that is your employer does that, and most of them that are set up, any kind of small business, big business, whatever, they will do it electronically so that it's in your account, your CRA, your account kind of thing. You can look at them. Okay, so
Was there anything
where?
else that you wanted to touch on?
Not for that, I don't think. We're trying to cover everything that we think people will run into.
The other one that I wanted to mention was the work sharing.
Yes.
So what that is if you are at a company and your hours have been cut, or you have two people that are, sharing the same job, I guess. So if you are taking days, so one person's working 2 days, you're working the other 2 days, so you're not overlapping, and I guess potentially, your social distancing piece. The other days that you're not in the office, you could apply for work share, which the government would reimburse you a certain proportion to top you up, I guess. So you wouldn't be out of that income.
Yes.
Now, you need to apply for that though first before you know if it's going to go through or not.
Yes.
But
Everything
it's
in the application, you may or may not get it. You have to provide what they need, and then they determine if you are, eligible or not. So
yeah, again, that's just more for information that it could be a possibility for you, just to help you during these times.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a person on the planet that isn't being affected by this. So, all the businesses that you deal with, that you pay bills to and whatnot, they're trying to have some kind of a relief package. And like I say again, keep in mind that the person that you get on the phone is under a huge amount of stress. They might not have all the answers that you're looking for. Don't shoot the messenger, because you're not going to get any further ahead. In fact, you'll just feel crappy for doing it. So just don't. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to touch on, this again is in BC. I don't know what it is for the other provinces. We have BC Housing in British Columbia. So I looked into what the rent relief package is. They are talking about, if you are eligible, keep that in mind. If you are eligible, you can get $500 per month, which is paid directly to your landlord to give you some rent relief if you're, not working and you're worried about not being able to pay rent. So again, you need to phone or go online to BC Housing and find out how to apply for it and to find out if you're eligible for it. That is a province to province thing. You need to, whatever province you're in Canada, you need to, like, I don't even know what they call BC Housing in Alberta, like Alberta Housing or whatever. So they are trying to help people that, don't have a mortgage, but, need a little bit of relief on their rent. So you need a place to live. You need to pay rent.
That's quite different, because the person that owns the building, I don't know if they're necessarily going to be able to get relief from their banks, but they still have to collect money, and it's really hard.
I did see that they have nobody's allowed to be evicted unless there are some catch-alls, of course, that if you're doing bad things in your apartment, you can still get the boot in all this. But as for not being able to pay your rent, they are halting evictions for the time being. That isn't just a, hey, here's your ticket to not pay rent. You have to consider that your landlord is, they have to get paid. So if you can, look towards whatever kind of relief you can get with your particular housing department in whatever province you are. Some may not have anything. I do know that BC is offering this. So,
and I would even just say, as common courtesy, if you're, having problems, talk to them. and maybe
Yes.
you can work something out between the two of you. But if you just, don't say anything at all and hope that they don't contact you in 3 months or something during this whole time, just give them the word and say, hey, look, we're struggling right now. Can we work through something?
And you know what? Don't think that you're the only one that is going to have to go and talk to your landlord about rent relief, because, if it's an apartment block, I bet you 2/3 of the people in there, or 3/4 of the people in there are having to do the same thing.
Yeah.
This is something that is unprecedented. It's never happened. Um, it isn't something that we're choosing, and this is happening to us as like a global race kind of thing. Like, it's happening everywhere. So just keep your calm so that everybody else can keep their calm, and try and find out what's available to you. Like, there's so much that
We just wanted to provide some information and,
yeah,
give you some ideas of where you might be able to find relief.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah, I mean, if you can live without some of the things you normally would spend money on, live without them. Pay your rent, pay your mortgage first.
yeah,
Like, look at us. Nobody's going out for dinner, so you're saving a ton of money on going out to the movies and dinner and all the things that you pay for entertainment. I mean, we're all, saving that kind of money, but it's hard. I mean, it's really hard when you don't have that every 2 weeks paycheck coming in, and you're freaking out. Like, everybody is worried about it. So you need to do your due diligence. You need to get on Google. Just pull out all your bills that you get in a month, your gas bill, your whatever it is, your mortgage payment, your rent payment. Put them in front of you and start googling what's available for you, and apply if you can. If you look like you might be eligible for it, all they're going to say is no if you're not.
yeah,
So you have nothing to lose. So try and get whatever you can if you need it. That's what I'm saying. Don't try and stress out and get it all done by yourself, because you'll just end up being overwhelmed.
yeah,
So
yeah,
anyways, I think we're whole. That was
yeah.
I
So,
hope that helped you guys a little bit. There's a lot more things, and check your emails, because just about every place that like, for me, it's BC Hydro and the gas company, and like, I have 2 different banks. They've sent me multiple emails on what they're trying to provide. You name it. Like, they've all come in by email. So that's your first place to go back and look and see what's available for you.
yeah,
So yeah. So anyways, today our word for today is, Lindsay,
relief.
relief.
Yeah. So,
It's just trying to help you get through this, because it's never happened before. It's really going to set a precedence for what's going to happen in the future when we have these big flus and sicknesses that come up. So, just keep your cool. That's all I can say. Don't yell at the person on the other end, or in any way think that it's anything, the decisions are anything to do with them. They are simply on the phone trying to, talk to you.
just take the data.
They're trying to help you, regardless if you think they aren't. So anyways, so tomorrow we have Linda Lenson on with us. She's in Mexico right now. She's a snowbird from Canada. And she's going to let us know a little bit about any struggles that she's had. And she's also in business. And it's going to be a really neat perspective, because I was saying that Lindsay has 2 little ones. I have grown kids that are kind of out, and then Linda's in, she's in the retirement age. So it'll be nice to kind of see how we all differ and whatnot, how we handle business, stuff like that. And we're just gonna hang out,
exactly.
have some laugh. So it should be good. So we are at the top of the hour. You got anything else there, Lindsay?
Nope. I think that was good.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys can find some things that can help you out. And we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Sounds good. Okay. Bye, everyone.